PR stunt after PR stunt. Harry and Meghan get more haters and white trip harshly backfired over much fanfare. Royal expert Christopher Smithers has written, "They're at it again, aren't they? The Sussex dog and pony show which hit the Big Apple amidst much fanfare and publicity. In truth though, it bore all the hallmarks of a glorified photo op solely motivated in promoting brand Sussex. Mr. and Mrs. Sussex are nothing if not very socially conscious beings and clearly passionate meeters and greeters. All in the full glare of pre-approved media outlets, and exclusively on their terms of course. Their truth must, after all, always prevail." Of note was a very public private visit to Harlem. A school and a soul food restaurant were the target destinations. Now it ought to be mentioned at this point that Mrs. Sussex was immaculately turned out, groomed to the nines to project a certain look, so say the fashionistas. Her clobber was predictably ludicrously expensive, and the jewelry accents even more so, conservatively valued at well north of £300,000. As the Harlem school hosting the visit is 94% populated by pupils officially designated as facing financial hardship, some critics found this just the teeniest bit crass. She read to these kids from her book too in a bid to promote literacy. As some critics suggested, the bench was only on nodding terms with the English language. You may wish to formulate your own thoughts on the wisdom of such a move. The soul food restaurant visit was to a place called Melba's, complete with the imposing presence of owner/host Melba Wilson in attendance throughout. Soul food, for those who haven't tried it, is blindingly good tucker, and the atmosphere in any establishment with a menu so inspired is usually a wonderfully engaging experience too. Her target was/is a relatively modest $250,000, of which 10% thereof miraculously appeared in the form of a $25,000 donation from Harry and Meghan. Let's push the pause button for a second. Nobody has any issue with a sincere charitable gesture, regardless of its quantifiable value. Those so blessed and able to do this will feel genuinely humbled at the experience. Drawing a biblical parallel, one is reminded perhaps of the words of our Lord himself. The act of giving is usually compassionate regardless of motivation in and of itself. Conversely, those who undertake a charitable deed in secret, or in other words with no fanfare, will receive their reward in the kingdom of heaven, so the good book tells us. The point is the truth or substance of the gesture, with the circumstances under which it was made, significantly and amply defines the nature and character of the giver. Every aspect of the lives of these two seems entirely choreographed to achieve certain public relations ends. I may be wide of the mark, but on the face of it nothing they do feels spontaneous or contextually sincere. It feels like a stage-managed fantasy, a photo op, self-promotion and brand building. The Central Park jaunt has attracted many others giving their time and energy. The common denominator with almost all the entertainment A-listers present is that they worked extremely hard for their success. True, luck played a part as it always does, but their abundant talent cannot be denied. What is the real claim to fame for Harry and Meghan? Presently on postnatal parental hiatus from work. What work, you might well ask? One can fully understand and indeed support the reported view of the Duke of Cambridge that for his brother and Mrs. to drop in for a quick dip in the St. George's Chapel font for their newborn is not a good idea. Prince William seems to see this for what it would almost certainly be viewed as by the public, namely another publicity stunt churned out by the Sussex spin merchants in La La Land. With each passing day the diminishing of the old Prince Harry is almost tragic. There will be consequences at some point, as sure as night follows day. Swapping a life of service and dedication for the trappings of material wealth seems almost Faustian. We can only watch and wait.